The community has up and down feelings about how powerful this set is, but there are still some great cards to throw into your 99 of your commander deck. Let's talk about them. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys at Magic. This is Hunter and Shane. Say what up, Shane.
What's up, nerds?
We're doing another video today. This one is our In the 99 video. That is right. We were taking a look at the brand new Marvel's Spider-Man set, pulling 10 cards that we thought were most powerful to throw into your 99 of a deck for Commander. So it's got some good cards to talk about, right, Shane?
Surprisingly, yeah, the set as a whole, it's okay, but hey, there are some gems in there.
Definitely mixed reviews when it comes to the power level of this set, but like you had mentioned, there are hidden gems. So before we get started, I just want to remind everybody to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, because you don't want to miss out on any of the other videos that we are constantly uploading here on YouTube. So Shane, let's count it down, starting with our number 10 installment. This is Unstable Experiment. It is 1 and a blue for an instant that says target player draws a card, then up to one target creature you control connives. If you do not remember what you do when you connive, you draw a card, then discard a card, and if you discarded a non-land card this way, you put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. So essentially, 1 and a blue, target yourself, you're drawing 2 cards, discarding a card. It's pretty good. Not bad, right?
Not bad for a common. Blue players like drawing cards. Hopefully you have a creature on the field, so I guess the floor would be 2 mana draw card. The ceiling, way better, obviously.
Yeah, the ceiling there is 2 mana, draw 2 cards, put a counter on your creature.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good for 2 mana. So that is why it's coming in at our number 10 spot. We do have some kind of comparisons to this card. So obviously, Ledger Shredder is very, very, very popular. It is the Connive King, if you will. That's just kind of our card to compare this to. Hey, you remember what Connive is? This is a one-time effect. Ledger Shredder obviously is on a stick. And then you've got your kind of cantrip effects of Consider and Opt. They do something and also draw you cards similar to this one, where those are 1 mana. This is 2 mana. You're drawing a card and also conniving. So very cool.
Yeah, I think there's a room for all of them. It's looking for another swap in for some cantrips. Pretty good card.
Pretty good card indeed.
At number 9, we put Spectacular Tactics. It's 1 and a white for an instant. Choose 1. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof on a turn. Or destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. That's pretty good if you ask me for that rate. You can protect your commander or whatever you need to protect. Or in a situation where you don't need to do that, it's removal. It's one of those cards where it probably won't be a dead card for you. And we like cards like that.
We definitely like cards like that. I feel like the more power level we keep pushing, the more modal spells we keep getting. And this modal spell is a great one. As the counter person, I love putting +1/+1 counters on my stuff. Also adding that hexproof on top of that just to protect it. That's fantastic. And like you said, just destroy something that is in the way.
Yeah. So we have some comparisons. Collective Resistance is similar where you can escalate. This one, granted, you can choose more than one, but you could protect the team there. Also, Collective Effort does the whole destroy something or put a counter on something. Pretty cool there. And then I think under the exact card that we're looking at, Valorous Stance, it does almost the exact same thing, but instead of hexproof, it's indestructible. So it's a little different there, but pretty much the same stuff.
Hexproof is so much better though, right?
Well, I agree.
You just can't even target it. I mean, if they're trying to exile your stuff, Valorous Stance does not get around that, where this card does, right? So
Yeah.
Spectacular Tactics, fantastic inclusion in any of your 99. Coming in at number 8, we're putting the Spots Portal. A little bit more removal here. It's 2 and a black for an instant that says put target creature on the bottom of its owner's library. You lose 2 life unless you control a villain. Honestly, you're probably taking 2 life unless you're running a villain deck. But 3 mana to say, hey, your creature is now on the bottom of your library, somewhere that is way worse to put than your graveyard. So
Yeah.
they'll probably never see that creature again in the entire game.
I was going to say, this card is just saying that card you'll never see, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Every once in a while, people do that and they flip it over and be like, oh, there's a card again. But this card,
Yeah,
it's just gone. It's just This is a removal card, so instead of the graveyard where you might have access to it again, you don't have access to this anymore.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those cards that just is going to be super annoying to play against. It's going to be great to play into, and some of the comparisons here, as you can see, this is the first time black has ever done this effect. So you have Bant Charm that puts target creature on the bottom of its owner's library. You have Forced Landing that puts a target creature with flying on the bottom of its owner's library. And Condemn for 1 white, you put target attacking creature on the bottom of its owner's library. Its controller gains life equal to its toughness. So all of those cards, like I said, not black. So this is a very unique card.
Yeah, they're not much replace. So if you want this effect, pretty much the only card you're gonna be dealing with.
Yeah, Spots Portal, fantastic.
At number 7, we have a pretty spicy card in my opinion. Spider Punk. It is 1 and a red for legendary creature Spider Human Hero. It has Riot himself. Other spiders you control have Riot. Spells and abilities can't be countered, and damage can't be prevented. All in a 2/1 body. That like this card has so much text, Hunter. I don't understand it. For how cheap it is, it's just like you just keep reading and it's like relevant, relevant, relevant.
Yeah, if you're running a mono red deck, this is probably going into that. You are just throwing as many spells as you can because those spells can't be countered now. And if you're throwing just a bunch of damage around, that damage can't be prevented. Someone is super bummed.
Yeah. Even if you're not playing with spiders per se, I mean, hopefully you maybe splash a little in that because take advantage of every single aspect of this card. But even if you're not, dude, really good
Yeah.
card.
Yeah, do keep in mind though, this is a world effect, right? So it doesn't say your spells and abilities can't be countered. So it is all
Very
spells
true.
and abilities. So all your opponents are getting the advantage there too. But hopefully you're throwing this into a deck that your deck takes way more advantage of it.
Yeah, I would hope so. Otherwise, that could be a yikes. But
Mm.
anyways, coming to comparisons, not much in the way of red, honestly. Rhythm of the Wild, pretty almost exact there. The enchantment that lets you have your things be uncounterable, and then also can have enter with a riot. And then Frenzied Bailoff, not in green or not in red at all, obviously, but the whole can't be countered, spells can't be countered, combat can't be prevented. A lot of similar things there for 2 mana, but yeah, Spider-Punk,
Yeah,
very unique.
Spider-Punk indeed. Um, yeah, very good card. Coming in at number 6, we are putting Imposter Syndrome. It is 4 and 2 blue mana for an enchantment that says whenever a non-token creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. Banger of a card here. This is hefty at 6 mana, which is why it's coming in at our number 6 spot. But if you can make this pop off like it should, I mean, you are getting so much value of just all of your stuff is going to be just duplicated over and over and over because they're not legendary. So just make as many copies of your commander as you can.
Yeah, typically commander decks are strong because the commander's strong, but that whole like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't have more than one. Yes, you can.
This immediately takes your singleton format into a different lane.
Yeah,
It is
and especially
crazy.
and if any blue commander that actually wants to do damage, I guess it doesn't have to be blue, but any commander that wants to do damage, you start getting exponentially crazy with it.
Yeah, there's plenty of blue spells that say these creatures can't be blocked. So
Yeah,
you'll just get in for free. So Imposter Syndrome is so good. And our comparisons here, obviously, Helm of the Host does something very similar. At the beginning of combat, you make a token of the equipped creature, except it isn't legendary. Pretty much the exact same thing, right? Eliminates that legend rule. Followed Footsteps is an enchantment aura that just makes a copy of the token that's enchanted to, which doesn't necessarily eliminate the legend rule, so be careful with that if you ever played it. And similarly, Rite of Replication, make as many copies as you kick it. That is pretty nuts. So,
yeah.
yeah,
One of those deals with the legend rule, so
no, it's
imposter
a
syndrome pretty good.
it's a rare thing here, definitely.
At number 5, we put Web of Life and Destiny. It's 6 and 2 green for an enchantment. Got Convoke, and it says at the beginning of combat on your turn, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That could be very, very strong. I get that at this floor, very expensive to cast, right? But the idea here is that you're convoking, you're making it much, much cheaper. And then once it's on the field, this is just going to give you so much advantage. Just dumping things like it's nuts, dude. If I know anything about Magic, and I know a little bit, free spells are never bad.
Free spells are never bad. I mean, just the advantage that you can take here of just if you can top deck manipulate in any kind of capacity, you are going to be absolutely slamming just giant creatures from the top of your library over and over and over. You are going to have to deal with some enchantment removal coming your way because your opponents are not going to let that happen.
No. These comparisons we want to show off just kind of do the whole playing the top thing in your library if it's a creature. Scene of the Unwritten, the top 8 does it pretty good. Lurking Predator does it when an opponent casts a spell. Pretty strong, but pretty good comparison. And then Call of the Wild does it as well for another extra 4 mana. So everything here is a little expensive, but I don't know. I think that this Web of Life with the whole Convoke ability,
Yeah.
way good.
Yeah, you are probably never casting this for 8 mana. The
Oh,
the floor obviously is 8, but this is a creature deck. You're going to be convoking this for sure.
yeah. A healthy mixture of small stuff to convoke and then big stuff to drop. It's a pretty good card.
Definitely. Coming in at number 4, we are putting Rent is Due, the latest card draw for white. It is 1 white mana for an enchantment that says at the beginning of your end step, you may tap 2 untapped creatures and or treasures you control. If you do, draw a card. Otherwise, sacrifice this enchantment. This is, like I said, another great way to draw cards in mono white. Love that it comes down early, even though you probably don't want to cast it for 1 because you'll probably get rid of this pretty quickly. You do want those untapped creatures to go ahead and tap down to get you that ability to keep this around and draw those cards. Yeah, this card, like I said, really good mono white card draw.
Yeah, it's really good. Not just because it's only creatures, man. Like being able to tap treasure too. I get that that will kind of take you off using that treasure for that time, but that way you don't have to leave yourself open for attacks. This gives you a way to literally pay with money to get cards. Like, it's
Yeah.
really good.
Rent is due. Who would have thought? Some of the comparisons we have here, like Halo Fountain, does kind of the opposite, where you have to untap 2 tapped creatures you control to draw a card, as well as pay 2 white mana. And you have Repel the Darkness, which is 2 and a white. It just says tap up to 2 tapped creatures to draw a card for an instant. This is just sitting there on the field, repeatable. So I absolutely love Rent is Due.
Yeah, I don't love it in real life, but I love the card.
I don't either.
Well, hey, we made it to our top 3. At number 3, we put Peter Parker's Camera, 1 mana for an artifact. This artifact enters with 3 film counters. You can pay 2, tap it, remove a film counter from it. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. That's I love copying spells, and for just basically 2 mana on a body that already costs 1, like this is very, very mana efficient to get tons of copies going.
Yeah, just the ability to come down early, play this on turn 1. You know what your deck is already doing. If you have a commander that has an activated or triggered ability, then you cast that later, you pay the 2, you tap it, you get 2 of those abilities. It is
Yeah,
such a good card. And if you're proliferating in anything, this card is going in that immediately because you want to keep those film counters continuously.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, I guess the floor would be you could do this 3 times, but hopefully the deck you're playing utilizes just adding more counters to this and basically going forever.
Yeah, even if the floor at 3, at it's still 3 times you could just go ahead and copy that.
Yeah,
Starting with 1 mana is insane.
yeah. A lot of the comparisons here we got are just ways to copy, which is really strong, but they're going to be a little more expensive. So, Tyrannic Resonator, you're paying the 2, another 2. You're only copying triggered abilities. That's pretty good still. With the Form Engine, it's 4 mana. You could do pretty much whatever you want there, but again, you're paying for it all. And then Rings of Bright Hearth, 3 mana, and then you get to do the thing. I just think that 1 mana and then another 2, so basically 3, I guess.
Yeah,
Way more efficient, dude.
definitely. Yeah, these comparisons that we had is the best of the best, which is saying something when you have Peter Parker's camera now.
Yeah.
It's really good. Coming in at number 2, we are putting the brand new land Multiversal Passage. It says, as it enters, you choose a basic land type, then you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. This land is the chosen type. So this is an automatic mana fixer, kind of like a shock, if you will, because you're shocking yourself for 2 life. I mean, if you do get this late game, it doesn't shock you. You just pay it in, play it tapped. Who cares? It taps for whatever color you need right when you need it. And I absolutely love that for this card.
Yeah. like the 2 mana, we don't care about 2 mana in shocks. And I get that shocks can tap for one or another color, but the fact that you're playing 5 colors here and like you might argue just put another basic in, but this is just like all basics. It's basically this is a wild card for you. That's
Yeah.
awesome for the land, dude.
Now, obviously, the comparisons here are the shocks, right? This is a shock. You're shocking yourself. This shocks. Like you said, you can't get 2 colors off of it. It's just the one color, which is, I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And it is not fetchable, of course. So you can't fetch this unless you fetch for any kind of land.
True.
But it doesn't have those basic land types. But it does once you play
Yeah.
it.
So very
So
strong land.
it is a very strong land. This I see goes in any 2, 3, 4, 5 color deck without a doubt.
Totally agree. And then at number one, okay, not one just yet, because we have to talk about the big elephant in the room. Obviously, our number one slash honorable mention, the Soul Stone. Like, it's such a good card, Hunter. It's probably the best card in my opinion in the set. But we just felt like it'd be a bit of a cop out to say it's number one, because I'm sure everyone's thinking that. But like
Yeah.
one in a black, indestructible, tap for a black, 6 in a black, exile a creature you control. You get the Soul Stone, and then you just get to recur stuff. Like this kind of just felt like a no-brainer, Hunter. It's too good.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I mean, we talked about like power level and how people think the power level is not that strong in this set. Well, this specific card makes this power level of this set up there. Like the sets down here, this card is way above it. Like it is so incredibly powerful. It is obviously the best card in the set, but we can't just do that. We can't just say, "Hey, this is the best card," because you all know how powerful this card is. So,
Yeah.
yeah, honorable
Why don't
mention.
you talk about the real number one, Hunter?
Yeah, number one, we are doing Hide on the Ceiling. It is X and a blue for an instant. Exile X target artifacts and or creatures. Return the exiled cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. This card is absolutely one of my favorites when it first got spoiled. I do tend to run a bit of a flicker deck, and I plan on picking this up because this is perfect, but it's also very, very different. You can also go ahead and target any of your opponent's stuff, get those out of the way. You can target their artifacts to get rid of something that might have captured your stuff until that artifact left or something like that. This has so much flexibility on this card.
Yeah, not only that, like it could be a protection spell. It could be just like tons of stuff, dude. And
Yeah.
The X in this is what I think separates it for us because it's sure, it could be the one, it could be the two. Late game, it could be anything. It could be all.
Yeah.
It's great, dude.
Yeah, you mentioned it. It could be a protection spell. It can get your ETBs going even more. It can remove those pesky blockers if you're trying to win right now. It's so good. And obviously, our comparisons here, Ghostly Flicker, it's the exact same rate if you paid 2 and a blue into it. So you exile 2 target artifacts, creatures, and or lands. I get those lands, and then they return them to the battlefield immediately instead of the end step that Hide on the Ceiling does. But who cares? Eerie Interlude says the exact same thing, except it's exile any number of target creatures you control. White is so much better in Flicker, anyways. And then you have just Ghostway, which is another white card that just says exile each creature and return them at the end step. But again, Flicker is harder in blue. Hide on the Ceiling, immediate all star.
Yeah, big fan for it. Even if, like you said, even if I'm not playing Flicker decks, I might consider this just for the amount of different like utility it would bring you.
Absolutely. And that is why it's our number one card. And that is going to do it. That is our top 10 for In the 99 of Spider-Man. Did you agree with our list? Did you disagree with our list? Maybe we missed a card that you feel like we're missing. Maybe we're sleeping on it. Comment down below. What is that card that you were thinking of? Or maybe we got our list a little bit mixed up. Maybe you think one of the cards are better than where we put it. Always interested to hear your guys' opinions. Down in the description, you will find links to all of our social media accounts. Follow us on those as well as some merch. If you guys wanted to pick up a shirt or something, check that link as well. And while you're at it, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, because you do not want to miss out on any other content that we are constantly putting out. And on the screen right now, those are all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your added support. It really does mean the world to us. If you guys wanted to check out what they're seeing, which is not here on YouTube, please click the link in the description as well and consider subscribing. And a very special shout out to our Gains Indestructible tier, starting with Aaron Hill,
Feel Yum Yum 2x2,
Daryl Tripp,
Demarion Turner,
Doc Jerome,
Ghost McGreedy,
Jimmy Ward,
Jay Pizzle,
Kelvor,
Kevo,
Samuel Abbott,
Stingraiser1144.
and Thrifty PSGR. You guys are awesome. Appreciate every single one of you. And until the next video, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Bye-bye.